Hi everyone, it's Veronica, and I am back with part two of the Crop and Create Delivered virtual card making event that I participated in. Again, I will be sharing with you the quotes from each vendor, what they sent in their kits, and the cards that I created using those products. I did do part one, so if you missed that, I do have it linked in the description box. Enjoy! Okay, so we went a different route with Picket Fence Studios and we created baby cards. But here's her card making philosophy: send a card today for no reason other than to make someone smile. And that really does make a person smile. Okay, these, oh dear, okay, there we go, are the cards that we're creating. All right, and here the only thing we needed to provide was a brown ink, so I used Gingerbread by Scrapbook.com. She had the Catherine Pooler ink, and we needed to have a silver ink or silver gel pen. And you could have other inks. The other inks that we needed were provided in the kit. So let me share with you what was in the kit. These are the inks. And this is some gold splatter. We did not use that, but now I have gold splatter when I need it. And a pack of sequins. Okay, and also this very fine glitter, and I think this is Elizabeth Crafts glitter. And this is the die set. And this sort of reminds you of Cottage Cuts with all of the pieces on one plate. Not all of them, but you can see there are other dies in this set. All right, and we also had this stencil. And she provided a mesh pocket for everyone to have, which was cool. And this was the ink that I used. And these adhesive sheets, she used these, and because I had them, I pulled them out to use. Joyce sent me these, Creating Life After 60, about a year ago. So I did pull these out to use them. All right, so let's look at our cards. This was the first one. Look at that sparkle. When we cut this die cut, we put down double-sided tape on the cardstock and cut it that way because that is how we did the glittering. We did not use glue, we used double-sided tape. Look how cute that is. And these were the outfits in the set. So to create this one, the bottom piece was cut off, and really it was snipped off because this is loosely attached. And then here, the top portion was snipped off, and we added that as the bottom piece. And you can see all of the stenciling. Really cute. And this one opens horizontally. The second one was this one. And here we use some vellum on the crib. And this is where I use the gingerbread ink because everything was cut out in white. All right, and here, if you look back at the picture, is the word boy. We can either put boy or girl. I did not put either one because I'm saving it in case I need it, and that way I will have the correct gender. Okay, that's that one. And then we use the mobile on the last one. Really, really cute. And that opens that way. So those are our baby cards from Picket Fence Studios. Simon Hurley for Ranger Ink. He's always good for a laugh. His quote, "If you're not covered in ink by the end, did you even craft?" Now, if he had said glitter, gotcha. I'm with you. But ink, I'm not going to be covered in ink. Okay, so here is his ink colors. I do have those. I did purchase those, except the Black Widow because it was out of stock. I used Black Onyx by Gina K. And a lot of crafters, as well as some of the vendors who use his Black Widow, says that that is the best black ink on the market. So we will see if I can get my hands on that just to see. Okay. In the kit was this tree. Let's see if he had a name for these things, just in case you're looking for it. Nope, just tree stamp and tree stencil. And here you see, this is the part that we use, but you can do a fall tree with this. It is so cool. So cool to use. We have his solar sprays. It wouldn't be Simon Hurley without sprays and paste. So this is Beluga and Royal Flush. I kept them in this bag because I did not want any leakage. But there is none. There is none, but you just never know. All right, and then his paste that we used is Unicorn Horn. You can see all that sparkle in the paste. These were the dies for this stamp set. And he provided a stencil that is called Dazzling Snowflakes Stencil. And these were the inks that I purchased. And I wanted you to see that the packaging is now different. This is the older ones. Now he has the Stellar inks. If I had to choose, I would buy the Stellar. Takes very little inking. When you are inking up your pad stamp, takes very, very little. They're a lot more intense than the regular. Okay. And I think that is it for Mr. Hurley. So let me move this out of the way. And these are the cards that we created. Okay. So here is the first one. Look at that. That's where we used the paste and the and mixed it with color. But that is just absolutely gorgeous. This is the paste again by itself. And when we color his images, we use the ink. We don't use markers or anything of that nature. We put down ink, wet the brush a little bit, and then put the brush in the ink, and that is how we color. But I love this tree. And this is the snowflake stencil back here. But look at that. Just gorgeous. And I put the wrong sentiment on here. I mean, it's cool, but actually the one that he had was this one, which made better sense. But it is on here now, and we're going to work with it as it is. All right, the second one that we did is here, and this is where we added color from the inks to the paste. Love, love, love how that turned out. That is such great sparkle. And we ink blended the background on the card. You don't have to do the whole thing because this covers that center section, but around the edges. Okay. And then the last one is this one. Look at that tree. And using that stencil with the paste and the ink colors, cute, cute, cute. We did a lot of second generation stamping for the tree because he wanted it to look like it was really snowing by having the trees be a lighter color. But that turned out so, so pretty. All right, and that is Simon Hurley. I have to say that I love all of the vendors. I love their products. But when I tell you I love Concord and Ninth's ink colors, their cardstock, I love it. So this is who we have up next, Concord and Ninth, and this is Kathy Zielski and her quote. If there is a finer season in all the land aside from autumn, I have not seen it. That's the way I feel. And if there is a better way to spend time than creating a handmade card, well, that would be news to me. Love it. Love, love, love. Okay, so these are the cards we're creating, and they turned out so, so pretty. All right, and these were the color inks. They always provide us with the ink, always. And they always provide us with the colored cardstock. So you gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, and this would be the ink. My collection from them is growing. This is my third event. All right, we received this stamp set. Look at this cup. Just look. And the thickness. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I keep every scrap. Every one of them. And I'm writing the names on them because I'm going to be swatching my cardstocks. I'll be swatching this and paper tray ink, and who else do I have? Somebody else. But anyway, Spellbinders. I'll be swatching. And this is the die set called Autumn Splendor. And again, all of these things that you're seeing that I'm showing are available for purchases on all of those websites. Okay, so here are our cards. Let's see. Yeah, this is the first one. Now, we do all the embossing powders and things like that. But when you're given everything else, that's just a drop in the bucket. But look how pretty that turned out. So this is the shaped card. This is the second one. Overdid it with the ink right there, but it's cool. And this is the last one. And I did this splotching. Is that what? Splattering. Splattering. I did that myself. I thought I did pretty good. I now have a splatter box that I use to put my cards in and just go at it. But super, super pretty. And you know I love that fall theme. All right, that is Concord and Ninth. Next up, we have Hero Arts, and her quote, "Card making is the perfect harmony of creativity and kindness, a joyful blend of inks, paper, and techniques that turns simple supplies into something heartfelt, handmade, and wholly unique. Each card is a little piece of the heart ready to be given or received." Okay. And these are the cards we created. Look at those colors. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, and these were the inks. I do have the Hero Arts inks. I don't know why they weren't in my packet, but I do have them. And some probably were in Spellbinders because Spellbinders and Hero Arts ended up joining forces. So the only color I did not have was a butter bar, And I used the Wild Dandelion from Gina K Designs. Okay. All right. And we received this stamp set in the kit. And this die that goes with it. So it's the die and the shadow. All right. And this stencil set. And it has 5 stencils. Okay. I loved the cards that were created using it. We ink blended on colored cardstock for this one. And you just get a totally different look when you use colored cardstock as opposed to white. All right, so that's the first one. And here we backed the die with vellum. And this one, So Thankful for You. Look how pretty that is. But you can see a difference in the colors. And here, backed with vellum again. And this last one, this is the background we actually ink blended. And then we cut out the U and placed it back into the cutout area. But that is so pretty. I love ink blending with Hero Arts. And I think she loves it too, because we do it all the time. It's just amazing, the final product. Love, love, love it. All right. Now, to my understanding, this is the first time that Trinity Stamps has been in this virtual event. So that was pretty cool. Somebody brand new. And I love the projects that we created. Here's her quote: "Trust your crazy ideas. Try them out. It's just paper." Okay. And these are the cards. Coffee themed, so I was here for it. All right. Take out coffee cup shaped cards. And we used Distress Inks and Distress Oxide, the Lost Shadow. That was the only one I didn't have, so I had to get that. We also used white embossing ink. And these were my inks, and we also needed a jelly roll pen. So I had all that together. And in the kit, we received this shading sidekick brush. These are the papers. And I'm telling you, this almost feels like chipboard, but it's paper. Very nice thickness, very nice. All right, so those are the papers we received. A shaker mix. A Cup of Sentiment stamp set. And this takeout coffee cup set. And there's also a stencil. We use this stencil for the lid. Okay. And here are our cards. This first one we used acetate. And you can see the shading here with the lid. Love that. And this is the inside. Now, the only problem that I had was this, which she kept saying that it would dry, you really couldn't tell it, and this, that, and the other. This right here is a no for me. So I am going to cut another lid, and I know it's going to look crazy because you don't have a lid inside the cup like that. But I am going to cover that because that's just a no. But I love the card. So that is the first one. This is the second one. And this was more for the holidays. Super cute. And again, that brushing with that Lost Oxide ink. And this is a gift card holder. Okay. So that was cute. And then the last one, a thank you card. I just love that shading. Love it, love it, love it. It makes it look so realistic. And that's the inside. So that is Trinity Stamps. All right, last but certainly not least is Honeybee Stamps. And this is her quote. This is Kelly Taylor. Nothing is perfect. It's just paper. Everything is fixable. It is in the mistakes where we all grow. And I have to agree with that. Of course, some papers I don't say are just paper because depends, kind of depends. But I get what she's saying. I get where she's coming from. Okay, and in this class, we did masculine cards. And I was so excited. So excited. And these are the cards that we created. All right. So let's see what was in the kit. We used markers for everything. All markers. I used my Copics. She used Olo markers. But someone in the Facebook group provided a link to this chart that Sandy Allnock had on her website. And this is a conversion chart from Olo to Copic. And the second page is the same thing, but if you have Copic, then go into Olo. I don't have Olo markers. I use my Copic markers. Hence why you see all these numbers, because this was the conversion. Okay? And in the kit, we received this stamp set. This paper pack. And still, there's some nice sheets left in here. And this is the die set. All right. So it was quite simple. I'm trying to make sure I did not miss anything. Nope, I got it all. All right. Oh, and we had to have a Jelly Roll pen. All right, so here is the first card. So cute. I love the font. It was perfect. All right, so that was the first one. Now this one panel I have not put on a card base. She used all white card bases, and this one I may use white, but I was looking at black also, so I have to make a decision on that one. But look at this, and you can see the depth that using those markers gave. I went back and put glossy accents on the chairs. All these pieces were separate. We had to put all of that together, and look at the glossy accents here. Love it. But it's like you could just walk in here. All right, so that's that one. And this is the last one. This one I had down a little bit too low, but it still works. Now I really am thinking that I'm putting this one on a black card base. But check this out. All these little balls we had to cut. Then go back and color them, but it was fun. I love this. Again, look at that depth that using those markers gives. All that shading. All right, so that is Honeybee Stamps. Thank you all for hanging in there with these videos. I know it was a lot. I did more talking than usual, I think. But I enjoyed this thoroughly. I got more done this time than I did at the last event as far as trying to keep up and be finished in a reasonable amount of time. I just kind of dragged it out toward the end. Kind of got lazy, but they're done. So I am happy about it, and thank you again for stopping by and watching. If you have any questions about any of the products, please leave it in the comments section and I will respond to it. They are all for sale if you're interested in any of it, and you will have a ball creating with it. Again, thank you for stopping by and watching. Happy crafting. One of my favorite quotes is, "If you want to be good at something, you must first be willing to be bad at it." It reminds us that everyone who has ever become an expert at anything had to start at the beginning. We have Gina K Designs on deck with holiday gift cards. And let's see what was in the kit. She always includes this sheet to show you what's supposed to be in the kit, what everything looks like. And she said that dies and stencils are packed separately. All right, we have this stamp set, and it is called Seasonal Patterns and Phrases. She even included a splatter stamp. That's the first time she's done that, and I was real excited. I don't splatter too well, so this was perfect for me. Okay, and these sentiments can be used inside or outside of a card. This stamp set, which is called Peaceful Poinsettia. Okay, and then the die set for Peaceful Poinsettia. And this is the piece that we used as the gift card holder. Okay. The only other thing that I added were her inks. And I do like her inks. They have a smoothing agent in them. So when things might even look a little splotchy, they even out once they dry. So these were the colors that we used. Spruces. This one is Red Hot. Her white pigment ink. This one is Ocean Mist, and this is the other spruce that we used. The spruces come as a layering item. If you choose to purchase it, you don't have to purchase all three, but they come in light, medium, and dark. And then this one, Dusty Rose. Okay. So let me move all that to the side, and I will share the gift card holders. Okay. This was our first one. I think it was first. I'm not really sure. And it is on a card base, and you can see the splattering here. And I actually added sparkle to the center. And the one thing that she shared with us that she learned was that when you see a poinsettia, all of these pieces are the leaves. This is the actual flower. But is that not gorgeous? I have not put a sentiment inside. And the gift card, and this is a delicate piece, but you see it slides right in. So that's the first one. Here's the next one. I have not put it on a card base yet, and you don't have to. That's the back side of it, so you can write on that if you choose to. And the scroll piece is right here. So your card would slide under there. More splattering. And you can see the different shades of the spruce ink. And this is the last one. And I chose to go with the silver base rather than the white base. So none of them have been finished off inside, but those are the gift card holders from Gina K Designs. Okay, that ends part 2. Thank you all so very much for taking the time out of your day to spend with me to see the projects that were created using the kits that were received for the Crop and Create delivered virtual card making event. I really enjoyed participating in this event. This is my third one, and we actually have the spring one, which will be March 27th through the 29th. So I am so looking forward to that. I've been through the kits to see what has been sent, and it is a lot of yumminess. If you are interested in participating in these events and need more information, you can message me and we can talk about it to see if it's something you'd be interested in. You would really enjoy it if you're big on making cards. It is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all again. I really appreciate it. Happy crafting.